What's going on, everybody? Today is Manwan Monday, November 18th, 2024. We are back to talk about another Survivor 47 episode. This one was episode 9, Nightmare Fuel, and it was pretty crazy. I'm excited to talk about it with you guys, so let's get into it. All right. Of course, my name is John Dunphy. Tonight I'm standing Mariah Judea. So she's not even on the show, but I love her. So I'm joined as always by my fellow tribe mates, Miss Gina Morgino, Mr. Kyle Petty Basal, and Mr. Mikey Marmon. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, everybody had a good day? Good Monday?
You know, day off.
Not particularly.
It's fine.
But happy to be here.
Good. All right. Well, we are Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. Find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. We haven't really gotten active on Blue Sky yet, but we are planning to, right? So we'll get there. We're gonna
hang
get
tight. There. Just hang tight.
Yeah, just a little longer.
We're on our way. Okay.
But so, all right, here's what I'll say about this episode to start off. I thought the next time Kyle lost an immunity challenge that this would be a real quick, easy decision from the tribe. And we found out in this episode that even when Kyle loses, just chaos. Just absolute chaos.
But especially because it's not even just that he lost, he almost won. He was in second in that competition. In what universe are you not looking at him like, all right, we got to get this guy out when we have the chance?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they don't even care that he's a challenge threat. Like, it's like, yeah, we could get him out, but like the social threats feel like so much more important to them that like, it's just like, okay, yeah, he's winning challenges, but like, so that's what it feels like. I don't know. It's crazy. It was absolutely insane. Like, with the amount of names that got thrown out in the last like couple minutes before Tribal Council, the fact that his was only said like once is crazy.
Nuts.
Crazy.
I was surprised. Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
No, I was just gonna throw out one of my supposables. You know, what if the reason why is because everyone else is such a social player? They're just trying to get people that they feel are evenly matched with themselves. So we're not even looking at like the physical end of it. It's like, oh, you're smarter than me, so you have to go. Or you have more connections than I do, then you have to go because that's how I intend to play the game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like it does make sense too, because I feel like we've talked about like this cast seems like very likable for the most part, like more so than other seasons, and I feel like so we probably do have a lot more social strategy players in this cast than normal, whereas Kyle is really the only comp threat or comp beast. So I don't know. I just would want to get him out of there as soon as possible.
Right.
I agree.
And I'm surprised that when the votes were looking like they were going to be on Sol, and then Sam like jumped into action and Sol was trying to get votes. That's why I'm surprised that Sue was even an option that was thrown out.
Me too.
Like, why even throw Sue out there? Why not? Why isn't it Kyle just immediately?
It seemed like that would have been the smarter play, but I don't know. It's really hard to say like how he wasn't like threat number one at the end of this episode. It was mind blowing.
Yeah, and I don't remember hearing a valid, like strong enough reason to go after Sue other than I just think that she's connected. I thought that just felt like the most random. Like, if not Kyle, I don't know how Sue is number 2. Like,
well, I think, the thing is like towards the beginning, they all like were kind of in agreement that Gabe was going to be the vote that episode. So I don't think it was necessarily number 2 as it was number 3, which number 3 I could buy for sure. But I'd agree that like after Kyle,
like there are more important people to get out.
Like who though?
Yeah, Sam.
Well, Sam is the one throwing the name out, so he's not gonna throw.
Oh, right, but even still, like the rest of them though, like people didn't like turn the Sue thing down. Like when he was trying to like talk about it, it's not like people said, "Oh, really?" They was just like, "Oh, okay, so it's different." Like I don't know how she was like
Yeah,
of
right
the
off.
pool
I
of
mean,
names. Like, oh, it makes
I
perfect
think
sense if you went for
I think
Sue.
they view
Like,
her as I think she's a social threat for sure. I
I
think
mean, and like
that
it,
mom character is always gonna be top of the list.
I don't know. Maybe we're just getting more than they are, but I feel like right off the bat, like Kyle, Rachel, and Genevieve are three names that I would throw out before Sue.
Well, yeah, actually, Gina, yeah, it's a great point because I feel like in episodes recently, we've heard a lot of people talk about how dangerous they think Rachel is, and her name didn't come up once in
Mm.
this
Yeah.
episode. Um,
yeah.
It's also a matter of too, like, who do they think they could feasibly rally votes for? Like, because Sam is sort of like Rachel is the only one left from his original tribe now.
yeah,
Rachel, and Andy. So I don't think he feels like it would make sense for him to go there. I don't know. It's hard to say, but the Sue thing sort of made sense to me. I did
Mm.
get where that was coming from. I do like she does feel like a threat to win the game. She's fairly good at the challenges. She's got a lot of connections. She's pretty social, so I can see where that came from.
yeah, and she has won an immunity challenge.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I was just thinking too, because Sam was the one that first threw Sue's name out, right? When they were scrambling to get the votes
Yes.
off of Soul onto someone else.
Yeah.
And I guess going back to what we were talking about before with like comparing social players and physical players and there not being as many physical players, like to me, it's surprising that Sam would say Sue and say he told So like I want to swing big and go after Sue. And I feel like Sam might be the only other person out there that could be looked at as like a physical threat or one of the only people. And it's like, wouldn't Sam want to take out Kyle, who might be his biggest competition in some of these challenges, maybe? So
Maybe. Although Sam hasn't really done anything wildly impressive in any of these challenges.
that's true.
He's
He got
not
to
the
the
one.
final four in this one, though. Oh no, he didn't. He was out first with Andy.
No,
That's
he
right.
was out
In
with
his
Yeah.
him.
immunity
Yeah,
challenge,
yeah.
yeah, with Andy.
He has not been like it's not been him neck and neck with somebody else to win a challenge as of yet. So
Yeah,
I don't know that he necessarily like is even thinking in that way.
Hmm.
Sure.
And even if that were the case, do you necessarily want Kyle to go out then? Because he is kind of a shield.
Yeah.
Like maybe less people are talking about you because they're talking about him. But I guess it doesn't really matter if he's winning and he's safe. So like, ooh,
Right. Yeah. I
yeah,
feel like Survivor's not really the game where like the shield mentality makes as much sense.
right.
right.
For a
Especially because
physical player.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, especially because Kyle at this point hasn't really been much of a shield for Sam anyway. The last vote came down to Sam and Sierra. It was tied. You know, it was like,
Yeah.
so Sam was already out almost before Kyle anyway. So
I
um,
wonder too if there had been like prior conversations about like Stu that we didn't hear, we weren't privy to, we just didn't
Sure.
know that that was someone they were talking about. So it's possible that like wasn't necessarily coming out of nowhere the way
Hmm.
it sort of was for us, like that had been a conversation that had been
Mhm.
had. And I think too, like for Sam, you got to remember that like he's not going to go. I just remembered this. He's not going to go for Rachel because Rachel was the one that let him in on the soul thing to begin with. So it wouldn't make sense for
Sure.
him to then go and try to flip on her. So I guess
Which
I think it would had to have just been a matter of like who do I think I can rally against.
Uh-huh. That's
hmm.
fair. Ooh, Kyle's got feelings about something.
No, I just it was how fast he like betrayed her. I mean, like the words had barely left her lips, and he was out of that little hut, and he went right down the road and sold her down the river. And it was like, my God, he didn't waste any time. It's like you can trust me, you can trust me, you can trust me. So look, listen, so it's you.
So Rachel told me not to throw her under the bus, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Exactly. And with his whole chest, you didn't have to say all that. Like you can just say, Rachel told me I shouldn't say anything, but I felt better of it. I had to come to you. No. She doesn't want me to throw under the bus, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's like, ugh,
It's like,
So even if I do
sorry.
stay, I don't know that I want to play with you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
yeah, that's I feel like as much as we've talked about Rachel too in this game and like how she's played a pretty good game and how people see her as a threat, like this was not a good episode for Rachel. Like she was pretty sloppy.
She screwed the pooch here, as they say.
She did, but like, doesn't she also have good reason to believe that Sam would have like kept her trust?
I don't. They haven't been working together.
I mean, Rachel was on the outs like when they were still
Right, but now
Gaia.
that Sierra's gone, we don't think that maybe that could have been like a window for her because like
Mm.
who else from Gata is even obviously Andy was already gone.
It's just
Like
it's the
in
three of
terms
them.
of Yeah, but I'm saying gone in the sense that like Angie was already voting with other people, so
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
you're not really playing with him anymore. So who from that tribe do you have left that you can put some trust in?
Well, I think that was the thing though, is that he wasn't necessarily looking to be tribe strong anymore. Well, because at this point he was trying to win Soul, but which obviously backfired.
Yeah.
But because then
I
he
can see
can.
how Rachel might think that way, though.
Yeah, that's yeah. I was giving Rachel the credit here. Like Rachel deserved. Like I don't think she made.
Oh no, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why she felt that that was the choice to make, because she was debating whether to tell him or not. Like that was her whole thing. Was like, I don't know if I should tell him. I don't know if I should tell him. And then it kind of just like slipped out. It felt like when she
Well,
was
he kind
talking
of
to him.
guessed it too. She
No,
like
that's exactly. Yeah,
she
you're
didn't
right. You're
actually
right.
say anything. He like guessed like, oh wait, okay, so it's someone from Lavo. Is it Soul? And she just kind of went, like, but
Yeah.
man,
This
I
comment
just
is interesting too, though. I can't like pull it up or anything, but it's saying that like Sam was told 10 minutes before tribal, I guess. So,
He had to
or
act
Soul was
fast.
told 10 minutes before tribal.
He had
Someone
to.
was told 10 minutes before tribal.
He had to put a little hustle in his step. So that's crazy that all of that was happening like 10 minutes. That's why they ran out of time. That's so crazy.
Yeah, no, that whole tribal, they were like, no one had time to talk to anybody, and I was like, don't you have nothing but time on that beach? Like, what do you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess hearing that, I guess it does make sense. It's just the way it looked was
Yeah,
just like so.
like
Yeah, like I mean,
eek.
I've never seen it happen so fast.
It's like, yeah,
So
I got you. So this is what happened. Like, oh,
yeah, it's like,
okay,
oh my
all right.
gosh! I was like, she's still sitting there. You're separated by just
I
by some
hear you.
fronds and a tarp, right? I mean, she could have heard it. Like, yeah, that's all.
But then what
Let it
was funny
happen.
was
Let it
like
happen.
watching them go back to Genevieve, whose plan it was, and be like, someone decided to vote out Soul, and Genevieve's like, what?
Whoa.
Who could that have been? Because if they hadn't tried, I mean, they had no way of knowing, but if they hadn't tried to pull Genevieve in, they could have they could have probably at the very least tied it, or like made something happen. But like in trying to get Genevieve, that's what made everything turn into chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you guys like Genevieve?
I do like Genevieve. I had to tell you, I had an issue with Kyle in this episode too,
Oh.
regarding Genevieve, because Genevieve and Sue were the two in the immunity challenge that didn't lose their vote and have to go on the journey, but they also didn't get the reward. So the two of them were just there on their own talking, and they came up with the plan to take out Soul. And at the moment that this is happening, production is cutting between this conversation and then the reward, where Kyle is talking about Genevieve, saying that he doesn't really think she's a thinker in this game. And I was like, Jesus, dude. But you don't think you don't think she's thinking? Meanwhile, she's literally at camp scheming the plan that would literally happen at tribal council later that night. So I love that Kyle made that little comment about Genevieve.
Yeah. I also I don't love that she was like still so ride or die for Rome in this episode.
I know.
That was a crazy thing to bring up.
That
When she was like, I have to get revenge for Rome, I was like, every single person on that beach wanted him gone, so that is an insane thing for me to say. But go off, sure. I'm pretty sure she voted for him too. No, I'm pretty sure it was unanimous, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. I do not remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But
I like Genevieve.
Yeah, I really like her.
I like her a lot.
That's where I was going with that. Yeah, it wasn't to slam her. I quite enjoy her. I think the way that she talks about her game is like humorous and smart. I just think she's fantastic. She's got great teeth. I think she's wonderful.
I actually, watching this episode, was very upset because if you remember from our draft, me and Kyle just didn't have her on our list, so we didn't know she was in the cast. And then I found out that she existed on my last pick, and I was like, just for that, I'm going to throw her a bone. And I wish I knew about her sooner so I could say I drafted her sooner, because I would have, and I would have been very happy about it. But instead, she's
the thing is,
last
I may have also. Yeah, I didn't know she was there until we were we were drafting, and I was like, why don't we have the right amount of number of people left? And I was like, what's happening here? Yeah, very disappointing.
So when I was watching this episode, my roommate came home and like looked at the TV and he was like, "Damn, how are their teeth so white for living on an island all this time? And I was like,
Kyle's biggest
point of
conspiracy
contention.
theory.
Point of contention. Don't get into it.
Oh, that's so funny.
The way I understand it, it's charcoal and no food. Charcoal twigs and no food.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Prawns.
We've been all over the place a little bit, which I like, but let's talk about this immunity challenge. So prior, what was that look?
It's just the way you say it. It sounds very like dad-ish.
He's like,
you actually,
all over the, we gotta get
like
back
like
on
you weren't
track.
actually
No.
impressed with it. Like, oh, we've been all over
No,
the place,
I've
which
been-
I like. But let's get back to it. It was like,
No,
ooh,
I
all right.
really no,
Dad's
not
mad.
at all. I've really actually really been enjoying the conversation. It's a genuine comment. So prior to the immunity challenge, the tribe received some tree mail. It was a rhyming tree mail actually, and this message told the tribe members to divide into pairs, 5 pairs. They'd be competing in twos. So Rachel and Caroline paired up, Sam and Andy, Kyle and Gabe, Sol and Teeny, and Sue and Genevieve. It was funny because obviously a few people, were talking about, oh, we're competing in pairs. The message said only one person is going to win immunity. So clearly the pair that you're in, you're going to have to compete against each other at some point. But it was funny because there were some people that I don't think were even thinking about that. Like I heard Gabe at one point making a comment like, oh, Kyle's my partner and Kyle never loses, so I'm good. Which makes it even more funny that Gabe ended up beating Kyle. But so yeah, the challenge was fun. There were different stages. Each stage we would lose. I think the first stage we lost 2 pairs. The final 2 pairs that, I guess the 2 pairs that just didn't complete that first stage. The next stage we lost another pair, and basically this was climbing underneath like a net rope through sand. Once you got through there, I think they had to untie like what was it? I don't even remember what this was.
It was like a puzzle bridge.
Oh yeah, they had to get the ladders, the steps for the stairs. Oh my god, I can't even talk right now.
The steps for the stairs.
The steps for the stairs. But anyway, in the final stage, we got down to our last 2 pairs remaining, and now we were all competing 4 people, 1v1. And it was when they had to hold themselves up in these little stalls or whatever. I don't even know what to call these things. And then they had little footholds that got smaller and smaller as you went down. I hate those footholds. I hate even looking at them. I could just feel them digging into my feet. Yeah. I hate it.
I feel like it might be comfy.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
You're
mine. But yeah, so we got down to our final 2 because Sol and Teeny had dropped. We were left with Gabe and Kyle. And Kyle lost his perfect record and Gabe won immunity. Yeah. I still can't believe they didn't vote Kyle out.
It's really
Crazy.
wild.
It's crazy. Insane.
But so
I
yeah,
just don't ever want Gabe to be safe. I can't stand Gabe.
He kind of irks me too, but I don't know why.
He is one of my top point scorers though, so I was happy to see him stay.
Like I can't place what it is about him that doesn't vibe with me. I don't know what it is.
He is irksome. He's irksome.
Yeah, for me, it's the fact that, we all know that we're going to be making game decisions that work best for our game. It's the way that he speaks about it that I don't like. Like, everyone is just here as, like, a number for him or just, like, they're just, like, a pawn in his game.
Right.
That, like, Tribal is like, oh, I need all these people to do what I want for my game. It's like, can you just stop? And it's like, stop acting like, he just acts like he's top dog, like, all the time. And I find it super irritating. And everyone treats him as that. So,
yeah.
Oh, but we can't do this without talking to Gabe. Gabe. And there he is, his hair blowing in the wind. Ugh.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel like I started to dislike Gabe pretty early on when he, like the way he referred, when they were still in 3 separate tribes. And over at Tuku, you had Gabe talking about Sue and Caroline as if they were just like his like accessories in the game.
Yes. It's like yuck. And that has not changed at all. Like he just keeps doing it. Yeah, I don't know. Like he just seems to really, he thinks he's like tough, like number 1 shit. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I agree. So we had a reward with this. It was kind of a picnic with some BLTs and potato chips and sodas. Um, we had Gabe here, Kyle, Soul, and Teeny. There was a lot of burping. A
Oh
lot
my
of
god, insanity!
I would have felt right at home.
Gina, give us one. Give us a
No,
good burp.
I can't on command.
Oh, come on. Bummer.
There you go, Mikey.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the poor people that are like walking down the street listening to us audio only don't deserve that.
I mean, there was fair
I said
warning
no.
there. We brought up the first. Also, I just want to say this has nothing to do with anything, but that challenge started, and I was like, I said to myself, I was like, it's gonna be Gabe, Kyle, Teeny, and Soul at the end, and I was right, and I have no proof of that, but I thought it. And I was right.
You're a prophet.
So.
You're a prophet.
Teeny looked so good until they didn't too. Like Teeny was solid, and then all of a sudden it was like, I gotta go. It's like that happened so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad for Teeny. They're just losing all their allies left and right.
Left and right.
Teeny had a rough tribal.
Right. So we had a reward, like I said, but then we also had a journey following this immunity challenge. The 4 first players out of this challenge, which were so that was Sam and Andy, and Rachel and Caroline, all lost their votes as a result of getting knocked out of the challenge first. And they went on a journey. What's wrong with me? It's happening to me. They went on a journey. They went on a journey to New Jersey. But what did you think of this journey? Because I feel like we have talked about in the past really not liking the fact that people's votes get taken away, especially at this point in the game. But the way this played out, unless I'm wrong, I don't think we've ever seen this type of journey where they actually competed together, like all at the same time. And I didn't mind this so much because we found out right away that only one person would be going back without a vote. The other 3 would definitely be getting them back, which I feel like softened the blow a little bit for me. I don't know about you.
And I thought the opposite thing was going to happen, so I was really happy this was the way it shook out. I was like, one person is going to be able to earn their vote back, and then we're going to have 3 people with no vote at Tribal. So I was very glad to see only one person lose a vote.
Yeah, it definitely makes it feel better that it's only one person. I think the same thing with the auction. Like, I don't mind that twist on the auction because it's only one person. That's
right.
But I don't want to see a tribal where there's 12 people there, but only 4 people can vote.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in all that. So just having one gone, that I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It was also funny to me because right after this little game that they played, I thought it was funny that Caroline is like, all right, well, I lost my vote, but I should be okay because everyone wants to get Kyle out. And I was just laughing because I'm thinking that these people on the journey are saying they want Kyle out. The people at the reward are saying Sam, and then you got Sue and Genevieve at camp talking about Soul. It's like no one is on the same page, and it was just great. I enjoyed it.
Well, it's also, and like, not to jump the gun too much, but Caroline was a little wild in this episode to me too, because it felt like, and I don't know if this is just the way that she was talking, like made it sound like this, but it really felt like she at no point considered it could have been her until Jeff was like, why aren't you being a part of these conversations? She was like, well, I don't have a vote. And he was like, but they could be voting you. And she was like, I don't really like that. And it's like, did you just thought you don't have a vote, so now you're not a part of this anymore? Why are you not involved in what's going on?
You're maybe a little too comfortable.
Like, I thought that was insane.
Yeah.
Caroline.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but like Caroline annoys the hell out of me. Like I find her very grating. I think she just thinks she's so smart. And like, even to your same point here about at Tribal, she just thinks she's like untouchable for some reason.
You didn't win immunity, you lost your vote.
Right.
The exact opposite of immunity.
Yeah, the literal opposite. You have absolutely no say, which is why you should get up, because the only say you have is what you
not
actually
me.
say. Right. And I did not like this journey. Okay, I don't care if it's 1 or 4. I don't want people losing their votes. I think it's whack, and the way that they lost it because you didn't stack the stupid thing right, so stupid. The only thing pleasing about this was the fact that the chips were pretty and purple, and it was a
And the
fun
click clack.
ASMR thing because it
Yeah.
dink every time they
Ding,
put it on
ding,
there. It
ding.
sounded very
Yeah.
nice.
Location was stunning too. That cave, good shit.
Oh yeah, very beautiful, very beautiful. I enjoyed all of that, but like I just don't want people losing votes. Like come up with some other disadvantage or something like that. Like I just feel like when your back is against the wall, your vote is the only thing you have, and to strip someone of that and
Yeah.
basically just make them like a lame duck is whack. Because yes, we can say as much as you want. Like Caroline should get up and have conversations. Your opinion can automatically just be voided because you don't actually have a say in the whole thing, which is probably why she sat there because she figured
Yeah,
I
but you can
have
still
no
campaign
influence.
for yourself.
But yeah, she should at least she should try. She should still try. But like I also don't think that people should be cut off like that. You should never like
Yeah.
feel like you don't have a say. Like it's America. If we have nothing else, we at least have our vote. It may not have gone the way we wanted it to, but
Yeah,
like
well,
at least we voted. We voted.
hopefully we get to vote again in the future.
Oh,
Fingers
But
crossed.
I know.
Caroline. Poor Caroline. I do agree with you, Kyle. I don't like anybody losing their votes, especially at this point in the game, but I do feel like if they're gonna do this stupid shit, at least make it so that only one person loses their vote,
Yes.
not 2
No, I
or
agree with
3
that.
or 4
Yeah.
or whatever. So
I came out of it hating it less than I thought I would, but
Yeah.
I just don't want people to lose their vote.
Yeah.
Come up with something else. Take away their stupid shot in the dark. I don't know. Like
yeah. I agree. I totally agree. Oh, okay. I have a question for you guys. What do you think about Rachel got on board for
What's
I'm laughing at Mikey for the way he's eating whatever he's eating.
Just like
Yeah.
Candy sharks.
You eating gummy sharks?
Yeah.
oh my god, Mikey.
did you get those from Target?
My friend Gianna got them for me because I drive her home after the shows for
Mm.
Christmas Carol.
Thanks, Gianna.
So I don't know where they came from.
Just feel like the pattern looks
Target
familiar. The blue with the white stripes. Yeah,
The brand is Favorite Day. If that is from Target, then
that's
yeah.
Target.
There you go.
There you go.
But I'm not gonna mock you over your gummy sharks. I just did an entire bag of those SpongeBob Krabby Patties. You know those.
Oh my god!
Them suckers are so freaking good though. Like
I
you
don't
can't
like
stop.
those.
What?
Sorry.
Amazing! Oh,
How dare you, Gina?
And it's very pleasing because it has a little plastic and a little case that it comes in. You can just stack them all nice and neat on the table.
We love single-use plastics.
Yeah. I don't come here to be disparaged.
Oh.
We love single use.
We love single. All right.
Oh my god.
So yes, I wanted to ask you guys about.
Right.
So Soul got voted out, obviously, in this episode. Rachel got on board pretty quick, and I'm curious what you guys think about that because if we remember, Soul was the one that saved Rachel when the tribe was split in 2. Soul sent that safety without power over to Rachel when she was looking like she was very much in trouble because she got stuck with what was it, Tuku? Right? It was like literally Rachel and all of Tuku. So what do you think? What do you think about Rachel just turning on Soul so quick?
Don't love it. I don't love it, but I don't know. It's hard to even point out what happened in the end there and how they got them all on the same page. But I think what it came down to in the end is that the people voting for Saul were sort of immovable, and it's better off they just joined that vote than throw it at someone else and then you make another enemy and all that. So I think it probably was not her first choice of something to do, but when your hands are tied, your hands are kind of tied. Right. And she probably did what she had to do in that moment to save herself moving forward. because like yes, it would have been great if Sam and Teeny stayed and like stood their ground, but they still would have been outvoted, and then you're pissing someone else off.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Dems the breaks.
Yeah.
That's the game.
That's the
That's
game.
right. That's right.
Sorry. I do wish that Rachel would be a little bit more honest with us when she's talking about her plans, because I feel like she's sometimes trying to even like lie to the viewer. Like she was in the very beginning of the episode, as she was talking about trying to like team up with Andy, and she's like, "Oh, it's like we've just kind of just been on the outside of each other. Like it's just time for us to like reintroduce ourselves because blah blah blah." And it's like, honey, that is not how that went. You thought that he was a loose cannon and he wasn't going anywhere, and you chose to not team up with him. You can say whatever you want to him, but we saw you, boo. We saw you. Just let us know, like, hey, listen, the situation has changed. I got to work with Andy now. You can just be honest with us. Yep. All right.
No, yeah, you're right. Because I do.
But she's fun. I like her a lot.
Yeah. I do pretty clearly remember, when it was Rachel, Sierra. Who was the other? Annika, of course, Annika. Jeez. So the three of them, right? They were talking about something, and Sierra chose Sam and Andy over them. Like Rachel had no intention of working with Andy at any point.
Zero. And it made sense then with the way that his game started. It made perfect sense, but like it definitely has changed now. And like again, you want to sell it however you want to him. Oh, I didn't know you on the peripheral, like whatever. But like, girl,
no, own it. Yeah.
Stop lying. We saw you.
So do you think that this Rachel and Andy alliance could do some damage? Do you think it'll last, or do you think he's gonna? I mean, it seems like he flips on people quickly too. I don't know. He doesn't have the best track record with that, but like I don't know.
Well, do we think he flips on people quickly, or does he flip on the people that he doesn't have the fullest confidence in?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
But like he was also talking not too long ago about like this big alliance he was gonna make with Soul, and then that.
Yeah, as soon as Genevieve came to him today, he was like, "Yeah, Soul, yeah."
I think what he's doing is he's playing a game where he is flipping, but like he's flipping where he needs to go to survive, essentially. So I don't necessarily like fault him for that, but I wouldn't have confidence in him as an ally to do what he says he's going to do.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that makes him bad at the game. I think he's actually the past couple of weeks been fairly good at the game, but I don't think that like if I'm like looking for allies, like I'm still not like Andy's not the guy I'm going to trust to be my number one.
No. And if Rachel can at least clearly define what value she's adding to his game, I think that could change whether or not he's like loyal to her or not, because he did seem to be wanting to be rather loyal to Sam until that went awry. So
yeah, I wanted to talk about this too, because I think we've talked about it a little bit in previous streams, but like Sierra and Sam have to be watching this back and like kicking themselves, I feel like, because like they decided we're going to work with Andy. They took control of the Gada tribe, and then ever since then just treated Andy and like didn't really do a great job of hiding it as like this disposable just number to them. So I can never fault Andy for flipping on Sam and Sierra. But like I wonder, do you think that Andy would have stayed loyal to them if they had like actually showed that they valued him? Because like they were not shy about like showing that they he was good, we're working with you, but we don't really care.
If they had brought him in and it felt to him like he was part of an equal partnership with them, I think things could be very different. But the fact that he was feeling on the outs, like when someone feels on the outs, they have to do what they have to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it could have been different if they had treated him differently. I also think they probably made a mistake in keeping him as long as they have. I think Sam could have easily made the switch over and been with the girls from that tribe, been with Sierra, Annika, and Rachel, and done well with as a four. But we'll never know. I guess.
Like, it's funny to me too because like I know it was episode 1, but like they chose to save Andy over John.
And still don't get
still
that
hounded on
at
this
all.
one, huh,
Which I
man?
still no, but not even the job, but it's just that you choose Andy over another player, okay, and then you immediately like, except for when you want his vote, you kind of just like cast him aside. It's like
Yeah.
if you're gonna save somebody in the game, you have to now work with them and cultivate a relationship with them. You like, what's the point of saving somebody if you're just going to immediately make them feel like they're not really part of your game anyway?
I
Like,
think that vote was much less about saving Andy and much more about
just
getting rid
getting
of
out,
John.
getting because they thought he was a threat.
Yeah.
No.
He came off too smart right at the beginning.
Yeah. I guess then I just don't understand why you wouldn't at some point. All right, Andy has gone with you on some votes while you still have the ability, and maybe take him out if you think he's going to be a liability and blow up your game. And now he's ended Sierra's game, hugely damaged Sam's game. You know, like
they only had 2 votes as a tribe. It was just John and Annika.
Yeah.
And Sam clearly at that point thought Annika was more detrimental to him than Andy was, which was probably not true. But there wasn't many opportunities because we got so much of like a even spread of tribals for that first couple weeks. Like each tribe, I think only lost 2 people, right? 2 or 3. One lost 3, the rest lost 2.
Yeah, this was the most even. I feel like pre-merge that we've had in this modern era, where like one team wasn't just getting steamrolled. Now it's interesting, and I would be God. I would love to see how this game plays out if Andy goes instead of Annika, and now it's that 4 from Gata, like Sierra, Annika, Rachel, and Sam coming into the merge. Like that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think a 4 like that is right, and a 4 like that is interesting too because that 4 is made up of 2 tight 2s. That was a weird sentence, but because then you have Sierra and Sam, and you have Rachel and Annika, and like so no one's like, I don't think it would ever really truly feel like someone was on the bottom until it became a 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's much easier to tell who's on the bottom of a 3 than it is to tell who's on the bottom of a 4.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Agreed. Check.
All right. So obviously we had a very chaotic tribal council, a lot of running around, a lot of whispering. It felt like I had no idea what way this vote was going to come out.
Not a clue.
Yeah,
not a clue.
I did think we were going to see a little bit more of a spread. I thought Soul was still going to get voted out, but I thought we'd see maybe a couple more Sioux votes or something like that.
I was shocked they managed to all end up on the same page like that.
Yeah.
That was crazy
Truly,
to me. I don't
Yeah.
know how that happened. I don't think they clearly also don't know how it happened because they did not show us how it happened.
Right. Hopefully, like at the start of this next episode this week, maybe we'll see a little bit more of the scrambling. Actually get to see some of the conversations. That would be nice.
Or at least get some explanations about what happened.
Yeah. But Soul has been voted out. I'm sad. I liked Soul. Honestly,
I liked him
he
a
was
lot.
a
Me
really nice
too.
guy. Yeah. Teeny was literally in tears at the end of this trial.
Yeah, they had a bad time.
More like teary.
Oh my God.
I like that. I don't know. I kind of feel bad saying this, so I'm gonna say it anyway. There's a part of me that quite enjoys when Teeny doesn't get their way.
No, Kyle. Then nice.
Woof.
All right. I'm quite entertained.
I'm quite entertained.
Do you not like Teeny, or do you just enjoy when Teeny?
No. I just think that because at this point, like it's just like so many things have not gone in their favor. It's like what else could go wrong? And I just want to see like more things happen. But I don't necessarily want them to go yet. I don't know. I just want one catastrophe after another.
Well, when they win, it'll be all the more impressive, you know?
Yeah, no, they could win. I get that. This is nothing. I'm just enjoying what this is looking like. Oh, this person cannot go. Well, not this person. And it's like, oh, this is fantastic. What else can go wrong? Now, there's a vote you can take. Let's see how that one plays out.
There's a vote you can take.
So I'm just enjoying.
I hate when people's votes get taken away, unless they're Teeny.
No.
Oh,
But
come
again, it's
on.
nothing to do with Teeny. It just has to do with the fact that there is somebody that is just constantly getting some bad luck, but also isn't, because no one's saying Teeny's name. So it's not. Yeah, so it's like nothing is going your way, but one could also say that everything is, because like
on the wrong side of
not
every vote, but never a target.
Exactly. So like things seem to be going okay. You just don't think so. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying it.
Oh God. Yeah. All right. I hear that. All right.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's all you got?
I think we talked about. Was there anything that I didn't talk about that people wanted to? The only other thing I have is the next on for what's coming up next. All right. Well, what we saw in the next on, something that displeased me greatly. Actually, Andy referred to himself as the smiling assassin, and I'm sorry, but there is only one smiling assassin, and his name is Ferris Basal, the champion of Australian Survivor. So shut up, Andy.
I don't want to be this guy, but
shut up, Mikey.
He wasn't even. Ferris wasn't the first smiling assassin on Australian Survivor that won.
It doesn't matter. He's still the only one.
That's fair because I can't remember the girl's name, but there was a girl on one of the earlier seasons that they called her
Pia?
the smiling. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Ferris is the actual smiling assassin.
I mean, Ferris is the only smiling assassin that matters to me. But yeah, give Pia her flowers. We love Pia.
Yeah, right. But Ferris is the best. But anyway, also on the next on, one episode late, Sue decides that Kyle is the next target.
She was going off too. I was like,
Jesus. Said that she hated him. Said he was fucking finished.
But she was also saying she wants to murder him. I want to murder Kyle. I want to kill him. I was like, whoa.
They showed her like, I'm going to kill Kyle. And then the next shot was her swinging a machete on top of like a coconut.
And what's that about? Like a lot of Sue with like the blood thing first, and now she wants to kill people. It's like, what's going on? Are you good, Sue? Are you good?
Yeah, oh, that reminds. I did see. I don't know if you saw the social meds going off, but there was one shot during one of her confessionals where Rachel, I guess you could see in the reflection of her glasses the fire that was happening in front of her, and people lost their damn minds on Blue Sky and on Twitter because they're like, we're gonna lose Rachel at fire. There's like fire imagery. Oh no, the worst has happened. People were freaking out over this little shot of fire like in the reflection of her glasses.
I did not see that.
Me
on
neither.
The social meds.
Social mead.
The social meds.
The social ale.
I feel like I've never heard anybody say social meds.
Okay,
what is that?
Have fun sometimes.
What is that? Like you only took away one letter. Like,
I'm sorry, I like feel joy.
She took away 2 syllables. To be fair.
Thank you, Mikey.
I would also say that it wasn't really out of line for some of the silliness that we do here.
What the hell, man?
I can't say that I've ever heard social meds before.
I don't get to have a silly, goofy haha of my own.
I'm not saying you can't say it. I'm just saying, like, where did that come from? Never heard that before. Social meds.
I wrote it, John.
How do you spell social meds?
You don't.
Because it can't be MEDS.
No, you gotta add
that would be meds.
It's your MEEDS.
So MEEDS. So it's the same amount of letters as social media.
You know,
I'm not gonna ask one anymore.
Syllables.
It's not the same amount of letters.
It is the same amount of letters.
MEDIAMEED.
S.
Social meds.
Yeah, but we're cutting out 2 syllables.
It's not going to work out well.
But we're not talking about letters. We're talking about syllables here. You know what I'm saying?
If you were to write it, it would take the same amount of
She
effort.
didn't write it. She said it.
Well, that is how I led this other argument. I said it was less syllables. That's what makes it an abbrev.
And a breathe.
It's not meant for the text.
I never thought I'd see the day where Mikey was backing me up on something.
Listen,
especially when he was going in on you before.
I wouldn't say social meds, but like it's an abbreviation as far like she's not out of line as Kyle.
It's not
said.
an abbreviation.
I wouldn't say social meds, but I support your right to say
yeah, listen.
Stupid.
Oh my God.
I don't have to understand it to support your right to do it.
Thank you.
Mikey.
Agreed. I wish the rest of the country saw it that way.
Yeah,
Well,
so let's talk about our fantasy draft rankings and our totals this season.
I am stinking up the joint.
Yeah, Team Morgino.
See, Gina picks good teams. She just can't pick a winner.
To be fair, you are the only one this week that had 3 players that all scored in the positives.
Love.
Yeah, Team Morgino with the win this week. 40 points to Team Marmon's 36.5.
Congratulations, all.
Thank you.
I came in with 26 points, and Team Petty with 19.
I took a hit when I lost Rome.
Yeah.
You did. You did, unfortunately.
No.
But these are our season totals, and Kyle, you are you're in third. I thought you were still in second for some reason.
I mean, technically, you're tied if we're going off episode wins.
Yeah, man, look at that! Not a single win for me. But it's interesting how like even it's been that like you guys all have 3. That like it's not like a 4 or 2 or like
it's a pretty even season.
And I will say that even though I don't have a win, I feel like the points this season among the 4 of us are closer than they were because I feel like Mikey, didn't you not
destroyed in like the first 5
had, like,
episodes?
100 points.
Gone.
Yeah, like
I was pre-merge. I was out.
So because I do feel like if I get really lucky, there's a chance I could make some kind of comeback here. If
you could still get a win.
Yeah,
Kyle and I both are down to 2 players, and Gina has only 3.
Yeah.
So we just got to get rid of one of Gina's next week, and then we're all even again.
And I'm holding out hope.
Get rid of one of Gina's. I need to see these teams. I don't even know who's here. I don't know what's going on. Who? Well, I know who's here, but I don't know who
Genevieve and Andy left.
Who?
Yeah,
Genevieve and Andy?
Teeny.
Yeah, because so these aren't updated, but Teeny, Genevieve, and
Andy.
Gina picked up Andy.
That's right.
Off the waiver.
But Kashan and Asia are gone. Kyle still left with Sue and Kyle. Losing Annika and Rowan.
Your team's about to implode.
Yeah.
I do fear that you may be losing someone next week.
I think I might.
I have Rachel and Caroline left. My only 2 remaining angels. I lost Sierra.
Also known as the same person.
And Team Marmon still with Gabe and Sam.
2 of the top scorers. That's how I've been doing so well.
Yeah, let's look at that too. So Gabe and Sam for this episode, top 2 point getters, 20.5 points for Gabe, 19.5 for Sam. Andy, 17.5. Finally, I get somebody in the top 4, 16.5 with Rachel.
There you go. Everyone who went on that journey ended up doing pretty well, except for Caroline because she lost her vote. But when you lose your vote and then you win it back, you get a solid amount of points. Plus, they got points for going on the journey and playing another challenge. So they ended up not doing too poorly for themselves in the end there. Gabe's got that immunity win.
Yeah. So Soul with a negative 3.5 points. What got him in the negative? Is it just being voted out? Like,
so you get voted out. If you get voted out, you get -3 off the cuff. Okay. And then on top of that, you get a negative point for every vote that was cast against you. So because it was like such a unanimous vote this time around, he got a lot, and he got I think negative 12 points in the end there. But because he does like you get points for playing challenges and stuff, so like that doesn't end up being as detrimental to my team. But yeah. So getting voted out and getting voted out unanimously, that really does you in.
Not great.
Yeah. And then these are the season totals for all of our castaways. Gabe, man, 119.5 points. Sam, Andy, that's our top three. It's funny to me that Kyle is not in the top three for points, even though he's won so many immunity challenges.
He fluctuates, but he's so close to the other three that it doesn't. He was in the top last week.
Well, I also feel like until we got to merge, we literally never saw Kyle at all.
Yeah.
So I feel like his wins are now like evening him out because he was like a non-character.
Yeah,
For
for
the
sure.
beginning of the season.
For sure. And I pointed this out before, but last season Kenzie lived right around that like 2-3 spot the entire season pretty much. She never actually hit number 1.
Mm.
If she did, it was like for like 1 week and then it was gone. So I'd say the 2-3 spot, that's a good place to look out.
Yeah.
That's a good place to look. And Soul last week, it's funny because if you look at like the people towards the bottom, those tend to be the people that get voted out.
Yeah, which by the way,
like Soul,
real quick,
Soul was the last one.
Banner.
Soul was in last place last week, and we lose him this week. So I don't know if I've just managed to make like a prediction machine here or what. But if the points are any prediction, we're looking at a Sam and or Andy win. That's my guess.
I mean, it's cool to me how accurate like your point system has turned out to be. And I think it really, I do think it really shows though that like that there are clues that production is throwing out there for us, right? With people getting a winner's edit or not, because you put this based on how many people confessionals people are getting when someone cries. Like there are specific things that production is showing us. That is what gets these contestants like their points that with the system that you've made.
And I would imagine the confessionals
I think there is something to it.
Is a big part of that
because
because someone could have only a couple points, but then if they get 10 confessionals in an episode, that's an extra 5 points right there. So it's like it bumps you up. So it's hard to say exactly what's predicting it, but I'm pretty amazing, I'd say.
Okay.
You are. You are amazing. And it's crazy to look at this too, just to think we are this game is really winding down. There's not a lot of players left.
We're about halfway.
Single digits. We got 9 players left, exactly halfway.
Also, did we see that the finale is 2 weeks long now?
What's a two-parter?
Are we getting a live finale? Is that what that means?
No, it's still doing like the finale right into the reunion show, like they always do, but they're splitting the finale episode over 2 weeks.
Why?
So it's not technically a finale episode over 2 weeks. It's just an episode and then a finale episode.
Yes.
So, but like, is it split? Like, we'll get the winner in the first episode, and the second one is just the pizza party.
No.
Because I'll
skip the vote and the reunion show are in the same episode, but I don't know if it's going to be like everything until Tribal is in the first one, or like I don't know. I don't know how it's being split up. I just know finale week is now weeks.
And both episodes are 2 hours long. 2 hours. This is
sounding a lot like
so it's like a 4-hour finale.
Yeah.
This is sounding like a lot like the fake Mergatory that we got this season.
Like, why are we dragging?
It's like you can say that they're not merged, but they're merged.
Right, like I like this season.
Say it's not a
finale.
Like
everyone
it's
on
a finale.
it.
Yeah.
I'm having a grand old time. Why are we dragging this out longer than it needs to be?
Let's wrap it up.
I don't know, but I think that's all I got. Anybody else have any thoughts? Anything for the good of the community?
I don't think so.
No, not for the good of the community.
Oh God. All right. Well, I guess that's it then. What do we have coming up? This Thursday, right? We'll be back 8 p.m. Eastern time to talk the next episode of the Challenge 40, Battle of the Eras. And then next Monday, the 25th, Manwan Monday, we'll be back talk episode 10 of Survivor 47, right? All right. And I think that's it. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching, for listening, for hanging out with us. Please find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. We would really appreciate it. Give us a like, a comment, subscribe. Please. Please. Goodbye.
Okay.